Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the Floating Spaceman Talks. Today I'm going to talk about another one of my favorite sketch comedy shows of all time, In Living Color. Now, In Living Color was a 90s sketch comedy show that felt like Saturday Night Live's cooler cousin that maybe borrowed your clothes, made fun of you, and you're still rolling on the floor laughing because it was just absolutely hilarious. Especially, I mean, I was like an 8-year-old, 10-year-old, 12-year-old. Like I was in those even ages when I would watch the show, you know, when it was on television, and it never got less funny as I got older. So if I went back and watched it again 10 years later from when I first watched it, hilarious. 10 years later, hilarious. And even some of the subject matter and stuff still applies to today. So this show was created by Keenen Ivory Wayans. It basically cast the whole entire Wayans family in the show. SW1 being Sean Wayans, who was the DJ in the beginning, to him being a full-blown cast member. Marlon Wayans, also obviously the all-star of the Wayans family at the time, Damon Wayans, Kim Wayans, and then had just celebrity, like they're titans now in the game, Jamie Foxx, Jim Carrey, Jennifer Lopez, who was just a dancer on the show. She was a fly girl. She's in the background shaking her caboose, you know, dancing to Chub Rock. And just everything about it was funny. It was just a 90s, just full-blown, a great example of the 90s and why maybe the 90s might have been one of the best decades of all time, in my opinion. I mean, I grew up in the 90s, so of course I'm going to be a little bit biased to that. But the musical guests, the dancing, the sketches, like it was just a perfect blend of all those things mixed into one. Had some of maybe the most iconic sketch comedy characters of all time. Homie D. Clown, Handyman, Fire Marshal Bill. What was her name? Wanda was Jamie Foxx's character. I mean, there's so many, it's like I might be missing some. Casting with other cast members like Tommy Davidson, David Alan Grier. It was just platinum level comedy and sketch comedy. Plus, it didn't feel like, and it still doesn't feel like they cared about being politically correct. It was more at the time when you would poke fun at political correctness to make a joke of it, because comedy is comedy. Let's make people laugh. Let's have fun making people laugh. I mean, they even did like Reginald, like where Jim Carrey's Reginald Denny and just all messed up from getting his head beat in. Everything was on the cutting board to be made fun of, and they did it beautifully. Men on Film hated it, you know, all that stuff. Just absolutely platinum level comedy. I mean, I feel like it's just crazy to even suggest like that people haven't seen In Living Color, but I don't know. We're in this era now where some of these young guys don't go back and deep dive the old stuff. I mean, I'm a Twilight Zone fan. I watch old stuff. I watch old shows. I watch old TV, old movies. And now, you know, I have a son of my own who's a teenager, and it's hard to get him to watch stuff from the 90s. They call it the 1900s. Like we were out there with covered wagons, you know, settling here in California. It's crazy. So if you haven't seen In Living Color, I mean, it's one of the suggestions that I feel like there's no real way you won't like it. I mean, if you're one of those people who gets upset by comedy because it's supposed to hit some sort of political correctness checkbox, then there's probably nothing for you that's actually funny. But this is one of the best sketch comedy shows of all time, and I highly suggest it. So if you haven't seen In Living Color, check it out.